How's it going, guys? It's me, Acid, back here again, making a video. I'm a bit undecided on whether to make, but I'm just going to make it, and if I don't like it, it's going to get deleted after a while, and that's the end of. I want to talk about it 'cause it's still really on my mind. It's still pissed me off. It's still on my nerves. Still not over it. Can you blame me, really? So, as the title says, I was robbed. My bike got stolen. It was a 125cc. It was a scooter, but I don't like calling it a scooter because it makes it sound shit, doesn't it? So, it's, for all intents and purposes, it's a bike. It's still classed as a motorcycle. So, I still get the odd nod from bikers. Some of them. Most of them are complete miserable cunts, but sometimes I get the old head nod. But yeah, it was the most reliable thing I think I've got ever, apart from, I don't know, maybe like a hoodie I have had for like 10 years that still fits and has no holes in. Explain that one. But yeah, it could get me from Preston to Manchester. Get me from Stoke, or a bit further than Stoke, to Preston, Leyland, that area. So it does its fucking job, and it's reliable, and it's had work done to it, which is a bit more annoying. I'm not saying what's had done, because I'm not saying all the quirks. I'm not giving any of that kind of stuff away, just in case, for some chance, the person that took it is watching. And if he is watching, you're a cunt, and I hope someone stabs you. But yeah, so this happened last week. Some of the ones that keep up to date with how I am and what's going on and know about what's happened. I went and stayed with my girlfriend, and she was looking after her siblings one at a time. So I was up there looking after them, with them. And I thought, well, as I'm only going to be up here for the maximum of 5 days, I'll leave my bike on, where all the people park their cars, on the side of the road. It's in between cars. It's not, taking up stupid amounts of room or whatever. It's, out of the way. There are security cameras all up the road, so no one would be stupid enough to take it, right? No. Apparently, some fucking idiot is stupid enough to take it. But, yeah, somebody did take it. It was parked in front of my girlfriend's car. I was asleep. She phoned me up as she was taking one of her little brothers home. He said, "You should probably come outside." And I thought, okay, somebody's either going to jump out at me here, or, they're going to say, "Well, surprise, we're going to McDonald's," or something like that. It's like a little harmless joke. No, I would have much rather gone vegan for the day than what happened. So she went, "Oh, your bike's not there." I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to get angry, I'm not going to get annoyed, I'm not going to start panicking. It was I can't remember, it was Tuesday the 30th, I believe, so it was either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And the first thing I thought was, some lads drunk on a night out have pushed it out the road as a joke, or they've pushed it around the corner, or they've just moved it out of the way as a harmless prank thing, or they're off their tits and didn't know what they were doing. If that was the case, they've managed to hide the bike super well, because I've done a 10-minute walk in all 4 directions, up all the side alleys and side roads and all of that. I've done it all. I've done the best I can to search the area. I can't find it. There's no way. But yeah, like I said, there were cameras all along the side of these buildings, because where my girlfriend's, she's at university, so these are uni flats. So they have security cameras all along the road, outside of the building and all of that. Don't know why, because apparently it doesn't do anything, because nobody fucking watches them. But yeah, they did all that. And then the first thing I did straight away was, I was like, okay, I left the gate and I walked outside. The spot it was parked at was still empty, so I thought maybe somebody's moved it because they wanted a parking spot. Again, no. not the case. So the first thing I did was walk up the road and look up side roads, and then she walked back and she walked up the road next to mine, which I also went up a few hours later, just double check in case you missed it, So I went up that road. Nope. I came back, looked again. Nope. And I thought maybe my eyes are playing a prank on me and I can't actually see it, and then I'll come back and it'll magically be there. No. And then I thought, well, Callum is her little brother's name, has told her to move out of the way and then take the piss. And then he's going to say, oh, is this your bike? And then he's going to point me to it because he's hidden out of the way, or he's going to move it and not say anything. I thought something like that, but no. So I said to her, have you definitely not seen it? And she said, no, 100%, it's not here. And I said, you've not touched it, you've not done any of that. And she went, no. So I walked off again, and I phoned the police straight away. And this is the first time I'm 20 years old. This is the first time in my life I've ever spoken to a police officer. I've spoken to one police officer before that, and that was because he come around once when I was like 6 years old. Time ago. So this is the first time I've ever spoken to a police officer off my own back for anything. At school I was a bit of a rogue, but I got away with a lot of my stuff thanks to issues I had back then. I'm not going to get into that now, that's a whole separate thing. But yeah, so I phoned him up. I was like, hi there, I'd like to report a crime. And he went, okay, yeah, that's fine. What is the... He said it like this, he said, what is thy crime? No, he didn't. He didn't say it like that at all. So yeah, what's the crime? I said, oh, my bike's been stolen. And then he started going through, like, oh, what's the make of it, what's your name, your number, and all that kind of stuff. So I give him all my details, I give him everything I could about the bike. And then I remember saying, sorry if if this seems a bit weird. It's the first time I've ever actually spoken, with a cop, or a police officer. This is the first time I've ever phoned the police. And he said, no, it's fine. He said, don't worry about it. Now, I wasn't panicking or anything. The one thing that surprised me was I managed to stay really, really calm during this. But I did it over the phone again today. I was phoning up my insurance, to try and sort out, how much I'd get paid out and all that kind of stuff. And again, I said it to him. I said, sorry, I'm asking all these questions. They might seem a bit silly. But he said, he's like, no questions silly. He said, it's your first time. So again, I just like to make people, feel okay on the phone, because phoning people on the phone is so awkward. But that all, happened. And then the guy went, we're putting something on like that plate, so if somebody's driving it and a police officer drives past and they see it, it'll get flagged straight away. Even if you were to find that bike now and drive it, like now, you would get pulled and probably, brought in for questions and stuff like that. So I don't know how it works. I'm not, into all of that kind of police stuff. I don't know how that kind of thing works, but what I'm assuming is, so they'll put it on the system now that, there's a 125cc Sinus with my license plate on it that's stolen, and if somebody somewhere is driving that around and it happens to pass by a police car, the police car will immediately spark up that, that's not right, and they'll get pulled, and hopefully that's what happens. But yeah, he was like, there's not much more we can do. He said, we're not going to send any, police officers out, because all they're going to say is the same thing you've just said to me over the phone, blah blah blah. And, that sort of annoyed me, because I was like, well, even if somebody like police officer local, because this guy could have been anywhere for all I know. I mean, for all I know, he's in Scotland somewhere. I mean, he didn't sound Scottish, and I got a text later from the Lancashire police, which is the area it was taken from. But for all I know, this guy's from fucking Wales. I don't know, he could be from anywhere. So there, I was like, okay, that's fine then, I suppose. Anything else? No, that was that one done. And then my girlfriend looks over and she said, so what's going on? And I said, fuck all. And she went, do you want me to stay with you? I went, no, take him home. you know, there's no point everybody standing outside in the cold. So she went off to take him home, and then I phoned my insurance straight away and let them know what happened, and they went, well, can you send us, I think, in all vehicles in England need this thing called V35, I believe it's called. So I'm going to cut in here quick because I missed out a point before. I don't want to start jumping all over the place and mixing up the timeline in quotes. So I'm going to finish off what I was saying then about sending off, but that was when I was speaking to the insurance. So say we've skipped that part now. This was a day later. No, it wasn't. This was about a week later. This happened on a Tuesday. I think it was New Year's Eve. And the office in the flat that my girlfriend lives in wasn't open till the following Monday for like New Year's break and all that stuff. So I had to wait from, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's 6 days. And there was nothing we could do. We phoned all the numbers on the security doors. We phoned all the numbers on the office doors. The one number that did pick up took us to a completely different place that we didn't want to be. So we're like, oh, wrong number, and that's that. We'll wait till Monday and we'll go speak to them in person. You know, maybe they can let us look at these CCTV footage and, you know, we might find something. So they phoned. She has to go into the office anyway to pay our rent for the next few months. So when she's finished with that, she went, oh, also, you know, can we ask you about the CCTV cameras? And she goes, why? And then my girlfriend points at me, and I go, I drove my bike up here to visit my girlfriend, parked it out on the side of the road there with all the cars in front of those cameras, and it's been stolen. You know, is there any way I can see the CCTV, or, you know, you can show it, or, you know, look at it for me and tell me what happened, and, you know, who took it? Maybe it was just a couple of kids that took it. Maybe it was a van that took it. We don't know. And she went, well, due to data protection, I can't actually show you them. So, because of some fucking stupid bullshit law, basically, I'm not allowed to see CCTV footage of the road and the pavement. You know, if these cameras were inside somebody's room, you know, I'd sort of understand that. You know, yeah, you don't want me to see, you know, what's going on there. But it's the side of a public fucking pavement. What am I going to see? So I said, well, can you not, like, skip to the part, you know, where the bike comes? I don't need to see the rest of it. I don't need to sit through all of it. I just want to see, you know, who took it and where they took it. And she went, no, I'm sorry, I can't show you that. I'm not allowed to. So, because of this bullshit law, I'm not allowed to look at who's taking the bikes. I was like, right then. So, what can we do? And she went, well, you know, if you get a police officer to come in, we can show them. So right, so if I go and walk up to the PlayStation, if I walk up to the police station now, and, you know, I mention it to them in there, and they say, yeah, we'll send someone out right now, they can see it today. And she went, yeah, that's fine. So I was like, right then. So I put my coat on, and I took a 10-minute walk up to the police station, which, yeah, it was 10 minutes away. So I get to the police station, and I get to the woman in the office, and she goes, oh, you know, what can I help you with? And I said, well, last week my bike was stolen. And there is CCTV on the side of the building, but I'm not allowed to see it. They won't let me see it. You know, is there anything that can be done? And at first she went, well, why is it taking you so long to report this? You know, I was like, why? There's no need for that already. She's coming off super shitty and, you know, arrogant with me. Like, what? Why are you coming off like this? But you know, I can't get gobbled with the police. So, you know, I said, no, it was reported last week, but nobody's talking to me and nobody's letting me know what's going on. So, from my point of view, it looks like nothing's happening. And, you know, it's getting to the point where I might have to take, you know, matters into my own hands, because this needs to get fucking solved, you know. That's how I'm getting to work every day, you know, that's how I'm getting about the place. That's effectively stopped me from getting home. And she went, right, well, when was it reported, and what's the crime number and all that stuff? So we got all that down. And she went, so what's the actual problem then? So I said, well, my bike's been stolen. And I said, there's CCTV on the side of the building that we're at. But due to whatever shitty laws are in place, I'm not allowed to look at that CCTV footage. But, you know, if a police officer walks in there, they can see it, you know, right now. And she went, right, well, we can't spare any resources to go and look at this right now. So I'll give you an email address, and can you get the the people in the office that see the footage to email it to that? Which, right, I'm not gonna dog on the police for doing whatever they do, whatever those people do in that office. I don't know what they do. I'm not involved in that. I've not ever seen it, so maybe they are all busy. But from where I was looking, there was an office full of people there, staring at computers, and however many police officers that walk about the place. They couldn't spare one person to come and look at some TVs for me and tell me what's going on. Again, I'm not trying to slag off the police or whatever. They might be incredibly busy all the time, and I don't know. It might just be that they are. But from the outside looking in, it just, it feels like... I mean, I know this isn't getting solved. I know the police aren't looking into it, because I've not heard anything back from anybody. So, for all I'm concerned, if I see someone driving my bike right now, I'm going to hit them with a baseball bat and take my bike back. But that's that, anyway. Like I've overstated now. I don't know what police get up to in their spare time. When they're working, they do their best, I suppose. But for this, this feels like it's just like, oh, it's bike stolen, whatever. Next. It feels like I've just been chucked to the side. And it's not like I don't want attention or anything like that. I don't care. It is what it is. It's happened, so there's nothing I can do about it. I did all I could. I phoned the police. I phoned the insurance. I double checked myself in every corridor, in every alleyway, in every side place I could, see in 4 different directions for 10 minutes. I couldn't see it. So, I've looked for it. I've asked. I phoned the police. I phoned the insurance. I've let as many people know possible. I put it up on Facebook that, obviously this was stolen. If anybody's seen it, can you let me know? Or, let the police know. I've done all I can do. But from where I'm sitting right now, nothing's getting done, and that's that. But I get back to the office. I say, there's an email address. I write down the crime number. I've written down the crime reference number because I got 2 different numbers. The police in there have told me that you've got to send them the footage to that email address. And she said some things, and she was like, well, I can't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. I was like, right, okay. And looking back on it now, she might even have done it. And there's nothing worse in the world than having to rely on other people. So, right now, not only am I relying on the police to do their job, which doesn't seem like they're doing, I have to rely on this woman in the office to send this off, which she couldn't have done. So now I've got to ask my girlfriend to spend time out of her day to go to the office to sit there and pester them about getting this done. And then I have to wait for this email to get watched by the police or whatever, all this footage. Which could take 2 weeks, it could take 2 months for all I know. It said it could not have even been sent right now, so I'm just sort of hoping she sent it off and it's been watched, and they're just not letting me know. For whatever reason, but, I don't know. Like I said, it's more than likely nothing's getting done about it, let's be honest. But, that was that. Like I said, I did all I could. And it's really wound me up. Like, the more I think about it, the angrier I get. I was fine on the day. I was completely calm. I wasn't angry. I wasn't pissed off. I wasn't storming about the place, which probably would have been a better thing because it might have actually gotten fucking sorted than if I'd have walked up and down the high street, kicking up a fuss, complaining and fucking shouting and screaming. But no, I'm calm and composed, and I kept everything in. And because I'm not very outspoken, nobody's gonna fucking pay attention to me. So I did what I could. Like I said, I put posts out on Facebook in like the local areas about stolen things. Put a post on my main Facebook page where all my family and friends are on there. Phoned the police, phoned the insurance. I've spoken to the office about security. I've spoken to the police in person about security. What else am I supposed to do? I suppose I've got to go and do the fucking crime work as well, have I? But again, it is what it is. One of the first things her brother said to me when this was a different one, he come back and went, "Oh, your bike's been nicked." And I went, "Yeah." And that was the end of that bit. And a few hours later, he went, "You do realise your bike's been nicked, right?" I'm like, "Yes." You don't seem like you don't seem like somebody that's just And I'm like, well, mate, I can sit here now and cry and complain and storm up and down and get in a huff and puff and sit there and curl up and be super pissed off. But one, that just makes my girlfriend suffer, which, you know, is already... there is no point. The worst thing I could have done is sat there panicking and worrying about everything. Like, it's done. It's over. I've done what I can. You know, it's game over. It's whatever. Just move on. Like I said, told the police, and that should be the main thing, you know. They're obviously the first people that should be told about crimes like that. They've been told. So, whether they solve it or not, whether they get on top of it, I don't know. Don't really care now, to be honest, like I said. And I think that's one thing that helped everything, was I didn't sit there and, you know, cry and complain. I just was like, well, you know, my bike's been nicked. Find the insurance, yeah, my bike's been nicked, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Get on with it. Let's go do something. Yeah. And like I said, the more and more I think about it now, the more and more it gets to me, but at the same time, there's fuck all that can be done. So, sitting there and panicking and worrying and crying and, you know, mumbling and whatever, it's not going to get me anywhere, is it? So, the worst I can do now is, you know, keep worrying about it. Best I can do now is move on. And, you know, to that one prick out there that somehow benefited from fucking theft, I hope he gets run over by a tractor. You know, I could say a lot more things about it. Like I said, if I catch the person that did it by some miracle, I would be beating the fuck out of him until he can't breathe. But, you know, that's what happened. You know, that's how it is. There's a lot more things I can say. There's a lot more feelings I have inside that I'm just gonna keep inside, because I've said enough about how I feel and about how I think things have been handled. It is what it is. I'll get paid out from the insurance, whatever that is, and I'll go out and I'll go and get a new one. And the same won't be happening again, I'll tell you that for fucking free. So, there you go, guys. That's been that was it. That's what my last week is sort of conspired around. That's how my last week has gone. That's how the start to my 2020 has gone. So, you know, this year is already off to a fucking great start. But like I said, the best thing I did in the situation was I didn't panic. And I think that's something a lot of people can learn about, you know. If this happens to you for some reason, you know, I hope it doesn't, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. But, you know, if by some chance it happens, don't panic about it. There's nothing you can do. You know, you make sure you phone the police, you phone your insurance, you let everybody that needs to be let known. And that's it, man, move on. Like I said, sitting there in the corner, crying, or stropping, or panicking, or worrying, is just going to make everything 10 times worse. Crying, again, is just going to make you feel 10 times worse. Panicking, just don't do it. Just, you know, take it as it is. You know, shit happened. Move on. That's what I've done. Like I said, I know what's going to happen now. I know how it is, so just let it go. Yeah, that's what happened. That's the story. That's how my week's gone. May have let the emotions get to me there when I was explaining some of it, but you know, again, it is what it is. That's how I feel, and today's day and age, I'm allowed to express how I feel. So that's what it is. But that's my story. For those of you that was interested, you know, if you can help me, you know, let me know down below, or drop a message on my Instagram or my Facebook page. If it's even possible to send a Facebook page on Facebook a message. Send me a message on YouTube. You know, comment anything. If you guys know anything you wanna, you know, help me out, that's fine. I don't want money. I'm not setting up a GoFundMe. I'm not setting up anything like that. I don't want money off anybody. You know, I earned this bike that was robbed. I'll go out and earn a new one, the same way I earned the old one. I don't want to be given it. I'll work for it. But yeah, if you by some chance live in the area, in the Lancashire area, and you see a 125cc Sinus Matrix 2, let me know. If not, thanks for listening. If you could take anything away from this, it's to not commentate a video when you're tired. Shit happens in life. And there's a lot of fucking dickheads out there. There's a lot of selfish cunts, and no matter how you feel, no matter what you do, somebody's probably going to be ahead of you. Somebody's probably already planning something against you. You know what makes my situation worse? It happened in Preston, in England. I don't know anybody in Preston. I go to Preston to visit my girlfriend, and that's it. I don't talk to anybody. I don't get in fights with anybody. I don't argue with anybody. I've only ever been out in the town once on drinking, and I stayed with my girlfriend. We sort of stayed on our own. We didn't start anything with anybody. We didn't grumble and fight with anybody. We just kept to ourselves. So I can't see it being somebody who has a grudge against me. If it is, I'd like to know who, and I'd like to know why, because like I said, I don't know anybody in the area. So, but again, doesn't matter. It's over. It happened. Shit happens. Get over it. But yeah, that's the story. That's what happened. Thank you guys for watching. Life's a bitch. And, life is what it is. You just move on, and that's all you can do. But it's been your boy Acid, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.